What's going on, everybody? I'm back with another video for my Omi homies. In this video, I'll be giving you my reaction to this week's AMA and all the recent Omi news, and there is a lot of it. I'll be giving you my reaction to Andre Jikh's latest comments on Omi, and I'll be talking about what could possibly get in the way of Omi's run up to a penny. There's a lot to talk about, so stick around. As always, if you like the content, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps get this video out to more viewers. Now, let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? We have a lot of happy Omi homies over the last week as the price continues to rise. At the time of this recording, Omi is up over 14% over the last 24 hours. And if you zoom out over the last month, the token is up almost 100%. All the way back on August 19th, exactly 1 month ago, we were sitting at 0.0028. And now here we are at 0.0056. So that's almost a 100% increase in the last month, a nice double up, and we're just getting started. But before we get started, I started a new Twitter handle for the channel. I'll be posting some news on there. It's linked below, so follow me on Twitter and subscribe to the channel if you like the content. I started this channel less than 2 months ago. I gave myself 1 year to hit 1,000 subscribers. And in under 2 months, I've been able to get almost 750 subs. So I'm only 250 subs away from my 1,000 target. And that is due in large part to the Omi community, who is strong, who show up, who enjoy content like this. So again, if you like the content, subscribe to the channel. Now, enough about me. Let's talk about Omi. Let's talk about the AMA, which knocked it out the park, which gave us a ton of information, some new things, some things that we already knew. Before we get into my reaction of the AMA, I wanted to talk once again about Andre Jikh. I made a video about his previous Omi comments a couple of weeks ago, and now just today he commented again on Omi on his latest video, which discusses his riskiest investment and basically his whole investment thesis. It's a good video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Let's take a look at what Andre has to say in his latest video, and then I'll give you my reaction to it.
Fulvio789 says, the Omi token. So I have a ton of Omi. In fact, here's the quickest way of losing credibility on the internet. Bam! $75,000. I still have all of my Omi tokens. It's down from 150K. This is one of those investments that's either going to the moon for me or going all the way to zero. Now, in the long term, I think they're going to do really well just because they have a really unique platform and they have some of the biggest licenses in the world, but this is one of the most speculative investments that I've ever made.
All right, so in this video, I don't think that Andre came across as negative on Omi as he did in his previous Millennial Money video. He did call it speculative, but he did say that he thinks it will do well over time because of its unique platform and the fact that it has the best licenses in the NFT space. So in my previous Andre Jikh reaction video, I talked about how it makes sense that Andre has these mixed feelings towards a project like Omi because he's already coming from a position of having a 7-figure portfolio. He's coming from a perspective of wealth preservation and growing his portfolio safely at the same time. So it does make sense that he would call Omi his riskiest investment because his main investments are things like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which he views as safe. I do think that it's a good thing that Omi continues to get this exposure from someone like Andre Jikh, who has almost 2 million subscribers on YouTube, and we're starting to see more and more of this, right? We saw Cryptos R Us talking about Omi. We saw Altcoin Daily refer to Omi as one of their top 5 coins to $5 million or something like this. They were actually listed as #1 in that Altcoin Daily video. And we also saw Coin Bureau, post an article on OMI on their website. All good things and signs that OMI is getting more and more awareness and people are starting to pay attention, and also that we were here early, all right? We were early on OMI, and now I believe that we'll start to reap the benefits from being early. Now let's jump into the news from Thursday's AMA before I talk about what could possibly get in the way of OMI going on a big run or possibly going parabolic. So there was a lot covered in the AMA, and a lot of that has already been discussed in other videos, so I'm just going to go over my main takeaways. They talked about New York Comic Con and having many cool drops throughout that week. New York Comic Con is October 7th through October 10th. It's going to be similar to what they did with the San Diego Comic Con earlier in the year. There'll be con exclusive tags and lower edition runs. So this will be great for collectors, and it'll also be great for exposure. I thought this was pretty cool. They're going to be rolling out a digital signature feature in the future where artists can sign NFTs at events, and that signature will be bundled with the NFT. Proof of signature is also on the roadmap. This is another exciting layer to the collectibles, and it's great for the collectors. Being able to add signatures on collectibles is another exciting development that will add, another level of rarity to items that will be something that certain collectors chase. I can see this being really big when they roll out their NFL Players Association, lineup of collectibles. Of course, one of the biggest things they discussed was the VEVEverse and how each piece of land will be its own NFT, so it will be limited. And the VEVEverse will be integrated with OMI and utility. We will be selling land that you can purchase with fiat or OMI. And any OMI spent on land or anything we don't have IP limits on can be burnt, diminishing the circulating supply, all based on demand. So again, this is something that we have speculated on happening. We knew that the VEVEverse would bring about new ways to burn OMI token from, the circulating supply. But to now hear them talking about it and to see the plans coming to fruition is really exciting, right? And it will provide us with an opportunity to burn through that big circulating supply. So we may not have to wait too long after all to get those gains we've been talking about for months. Now later in this month, they're going to release specific information about the new token burning mechanisms. And they did say that in addition to the land, you would also be able to buy accessories and upgrade your NFTs within the VEVEverse using your OMI token, and that would be burnt from circulating supply. Knowing everything that we know and seeing all of these developments, I don't know how anyone could not be bullish on this project for the foreseeable future. But let's get back to the news from the AMA. They also talked about Showroom version 2, saying that it is nearly ready and that they've opened up a space where people can place their collectibles in the sky at any size. Very cool for people holding things like, the Star Trek ships. Blank canvas space option where you can create your showroom from scratch, also opening the door for creativity. Accessories are also coming. So all of these upgrades will make the user experience more enjoyable and help people unleash their creativity in new and exciting ways. In regards to the comics, they said that more functionality is coming, like tilting comics using the AR reader. They're working on better sorting and organization of digital comics alongside collectibles. Again, working towards enhancing the user experience within VEVE. In regards to the Master Collectors program, they said that they started development in October of last year, and then VEVE happened, which caused a bit of a delay. In hindsight, though, the time has been good for them to revise the plan based on data and community feedback. So they do expect for the community to be receptive to this program when it's rolled out. They also said that they're progressing well with their immutable transition and that they're also progressing well with the MTL, gem to fiat conversion within the VEVE app. Now, I do think that's going to take some more time, because after they complete all of that internal work, they're going to roll that out slowly with a small select group of people to do a test run to make sure that everything runs well before rolling it out to the whole community. So I do think the MTL rollout might be a little slower than some people think. In regards to interoperability and the ability to list VEVE NFTs in a place like OpenSea, they did say that these decisions would be up to licensors. So it'll be up to like Marvel to say whether or not they want their NFTs on OpenSea. All right, and they also said that this will take time to roll out. One thing that they said that I thought was really cool was how they're going to build in more rare collectibles. How the current print runs aren't going to be the only print runs moving forward, and they're planning on, next level rare items. Again, good news for collectors, because it's great to build in those chase items that everyone, strives for. When asked about the possibility of DC Comics rolling into the VEVE app, they said that they're taking a wait and see approach. So this is also a possibility. I would think that after seeing the success that Marvel is having with their NFT comics, that DC would be keen to partner with VEVE to do the same thing for their comics. So this was something that I would expect over the next year. Now imagine what a first edition Superman comic might do. How much excitement that would create in the space. So these are all good things, and things are playing out pretty much the way I expected them to. So where do we go from here? I really do believe that we should clear a new all-time high sometime in the next month or 2 months. And I do think that 5 cents is still a possibility by the end of this calendar year. However, I am also aware that things could always go wrong. And so I'm looking at what the threats are for OMI in regards to price action, and there are a few. Right? One of them is if things don't roll out smoothly, or if a mutable is delayed for some reason and delayed by a substantial amount of time, that could create a substantial amount of FUD. If the other developments are delayed or underwhelm, that could also provide some volatility. The Master Collectors Program, the NTL rollout, the VEVEverse rollout, if that's delayed, that could also present us with a pullback and some volatility. And then, of course, there are the whales. If you watch Daniel Lee's channel, he did a great video on the biggest whales and how they can affect the price. Now, I don't really, think too much or get involved in, the whale conspiracy theories and how they manipulate the market. The fact is that anytime you have a small cap project, the whales have the greater potential to, alter the price either up or down. All right, so I don't really care about that. I only care about it insofar as, understanding what's happening and possibly taking advantage of it. So if the whales sell off substantially on the way up, we could see some pullbacks and some buying opportunities. And then, of course, there's always the threat of overall market volatility, which we see all the time in crypto. And with the threat of regulation looming over the whole market, I wouldn't be surprised to see sharp corrections and flash crashes and things like that in the coming months. Keep in mind that at the end of the month, on September 27th, the infrastructure bill is set to be voted on in the House of Representatives. In that bill, there is loose language that sent shockwaves across the crypto community. And it appears that the controversial bill will see a vote in the U.S. House of Representatives without any amendments to the crypto tax provisions by September 27th. Now combine that with Bitcoin options expiring on the last Friday of September, September 24th, and we could see some volatility in the overall market at the end of the month. Just something to look out for. As I said in my last video, I will be looking to dollar cost average in Ecomi and some of my other coins over the next few weeks. But if there is a market pullback, I will be taking advantage of that and going in heavier. So that's it for today. If you like the content, make sure you smash the like button on your way out and consider subscribing to the channel. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe. I will see you in the next video.